And we're back with North of the Broad. With me now is Jonathan Haupt. He is the Executive Director of the Pat Conroy Literary Center, where we are.
Yes, indeed.
Jonathan, good to have you with us.
Oh, thank you, Robin.
We have a lot to talk about, but specifically there is an event coming up on February the 6th, that's a Thursday, with WAHHI, the Women's Association of Hilton Head Island, where you're going to be on a panel with a couple of other authors. You want to talk a little bit about that event?
Absolutely, and this is a really special one for us to do because one of the last events Pat Conroy did was for WAHHI, was an equivalent event, a brunch very much like this. And Pat didn't go just for himself in support of his own books. He went for one of the writers we'll have with us that day, Ellen Malfris, who's the writer-in-residence at USC Beaufort. Yes. Ellen's first book, her novel, Untying the Moon, was published by Story River Books, which was an imprint that Pat and I created together. And Pat wanted to be so supportive of Ellen. He wrote a beautiful foreword for that novel, and they went and they did this event together in front of hundreds of women in December of 2015.
I was wondering when that was.
Yes.
Wow, that was, and of course he passed in 2016, right?
He did. This was just a few months before he passed away. So it really was one of the last 3 events he did. Really special memory for a lot of people who were there. Yes. And so we want to honor that by going this year. So Ellen will actually be on the panel with me to share some memories about what that day was like. And we'll be joined by Cassandra King Conroy, Pat's widow, fellow novelist, who's been touring nationally for her memoir about her marriage to Pat called Tell Me a Story.
So I'm very excited about the event. I'm actually a WAHHI member.
Yes.
And have been for about a year. Enjoy all of the luncheons, and this is a brunch. Actually, the social hour I think starts at 9:30.
9:30, that's right.
And then 10:30, the brunch. And then the program after that, and it's a panel that will be moderated. So what is going to be your overarching message that you're going to share with the ladies that day, Jonathan?
Well, I'm going in support of a book that all 3 of us are in called Our Prince of Scribes, writers remember Pat Conroy. And ultimately the story of that book is that Pat was a teacher long after he left the classroom. He was only a classroom teacher for 3 years, but he continued to mentor and champion his fellow writers throughout his whole writing career. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the craft of writing, but also the importance of finding and fostering mentorship, student-teacher relationships. Right. And all 3 of us on this panel have been teachers in one way or another, so it's a really good group to have that conversation with.
It's going to be exciting, and tickets are available on the wahhi.org website, I believe.
They are $36 for public or guests and $32 for WAHHI members, I believe.
Right. And it'll be at Sonesta on Hilton Head.
It will, yes.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about other big events coming up this spring that you want to share with us that the public can be involved with and learn more about Pat Conroy.
Sure.
Jonathan?
Absolutely. So we've got a very active calendar of events all posted on our website this morning. As you and I were just talking about off camera, we're doing a number of things with OLLI, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. So registration for those events just opened up
yesterday.
As well.
Yes.
And we've started offering an open mic night here in Beaufort for
local
local writers.
So what is that?
We're 3 months into doing this, and the response has been fantastic. So it's on the second Thursday of each month, is that right? Third Thursday, excuse me, of each month at Common Ground Coffee House, which is just a couple of blocks from where we are. And folks can just show up and sign up for reading time that night. If you're a reader, rather than a writer, and you just want to attend and support local writers, you can do that as well.
So if you're open mic, meaning they're talking about their writing and tips and that sort of thing?
They're reading from their writing.
Oh, they're reading from their writing.
So you're going to hear poets and fiction writers and memoirists at all levels of experience, people giving perhaps the first reading they've ever given their life in front of an audience, to folks who are very seasoned at doing this kind of thing. It's a really wonderful event.
It's very unique. I like that. I like that a lot.
And Common Ground's been wonderfully supportive of the whole thing. Yes.
Jonathan, we have about a minute left. Why does the legacy of Pat Conroy continue to be so amazing in this area and really in the country?
Well, this is a good chance to actually circle back around to WAHHI too and talk about one part of that we didn't mention. During the social hour, a lot of other local writers are going to be there too, sort of an author fair, maybe a dozen or so. And that's part of the really wonderful part of this area, is that it just fosters so many wonderful creative people, writers, visual artists, singers, actors. We see that everywhere. And it spoke to Pat. It gave him not just a home, but a muse to his creative life. And we see that in so many other authors who make their home here in Beaufort as well. So WAHHI and a lot of what we do here at the Conroy Center is not necessarily focused on Pat, but it's a way to share that spotlight with other writers who make their homes and their writing lives here in the Low Country too.
And you do it so well. Thank you so much, Jonathan Haupt, Executive Director of the Pat Conroy Literary Center. And that event we were talking about is the Women's Association of Hilton Head Island. And it's on February the 6th. And you can go to wahhi.org to find out more about tickets. So thank you, Jonathan. And we'll be right back with our next guest on North of the Broad.